What's up, guys? My name is Justin. Welcome back to the channel. We are back on iRacing today to test out rain. Now, I just got home. I finished the update. Apparently, it was like a 10-hour update. There were a couple up and down times, and I mean, it literally just within the last hour has gotten back up and running. So I just downloaded it, sat down. We're gonna give this a whirl. This is not clickbait. I am testing rain as we speak. But anyways, first off, I know it's new, so I'm gonna naturally hate. I hate the UI. It looks like it's windowed inside a window inside a window. I don't like the layers thing. I don't know why we have all this free space. That makes absolutely no sense. I don't know what this is. Is this just optional stuff? Yeah, well, I'm annoyed that that just says that because it's not stuff I own. Anyways, we'll go to test drive. I literally just clicked in, started the Cadillac is what we're gonna run, the LMDH GTP, whatever Cadillac. We're going to go to Daytona since that's what I've been doing for the last, 3 months in prep for the 24, but we're going to obviously turn on the rain. I guess we'll just go afternoon. We want marbles off. We'll get some track state in there so we have some rubber to go across and see what that's like. It has to be overcast. We'll just go with moderate rain, I guess. I have no idea what I'm doing. I don't know what I want. We're going to turn the humidity down a little bit, though, just so that hopefully we don't have too much fog. I don't know how that works, but anyways, we'll just go with that. Moderate rain, 78 degrees, just kind of normal, and we'll see what happens. I have no idea what kind of FPS we're going to get. I don't even know what I normally get, to be fair. Don't pay attention to that anymore. I just know that pretty much everywhere works. I think I may have it capped at 100, but I don't know that. So what we're going to do is we're going to go in and we're just going to test, obviously, see how it goes for a little while. But we're not going to use a dedicated rain set. We're just going to go out on the set that we ran at Daytona on wet tires, as if it was, in the race and it was a mostly dry race, and it was just like we ran it in January, and it started raining. We're going to go out and put some rain tires on. So we'll just use that set. I know that it'd probably be better and faster and whatever to learn on, a high downforce, full traction control, everything type of set, but we're not going to do that because that's boring. Weather is our new tab. Yeah, I mean, it's going to be 100% chance of rain, so it's good. It's what we want. We don't want IMSA. We want D24V 1.3, and then obviously we want the wet tires. So we'll go with this. I need to figure out what my black box is for weather. Apparently it's F11, so we expect light rain soon. It's light rain right now, my guy. All right, well, I am excited. Again, this is literally my very first attempt at this, so we're going to see how this goes. Wipers are not automatic, I guess, which is fine. I have my button program for that. We are ready. We are going to give this a whirl, learn as we go. I'm scared. I'm scared because I've built this up in my head to be amazing, and it probably will be, but I also have no idea what I'm doing, obviously. In the rain, it's going to be very low grip. It's going to be slippery, but I'm excited. Let's figure it out. Cool. It is very slippery and very weird. Very, very strange. All right. First indication, visibility is not that good. Yeah, we don't really want to be on the rubber. Oh, there's a curve. All right. All right, so the key now, from what I know and what I've been told and what makes sense, you don't want to run across the normal racing line, or you want to be on the normal racing line in the rubber. You do not want to, what else? You don't want to touch curbs or painted lines if you can help it, but obviously that, it's going to depend on track and depend on the area and whatever. So we'll see how this works again. In my mind, I'm just going to go out here and like Forza it and just drive through the puddles, and it'll just kind of slide around a little bit, but that's absolutely not what's going to happen. So, places like the bus stop, you're not going to be able to avoid the puddles and the racing line because of the nature of the corners. So I'm just going to go out here, crawl around probably for a little bit, see where the puddles are at. Very slippery. Use some brakes here into the kink. Definitely not flat. There is a big puddle on the inside there. Brake offline, across the rubber, out to the outside karting line. A little bit too wide in the grass, though. It is tough to see, I admit. when you're not paying attention, you're not used to what this is supposed to look like, it is tough to see. It is definitely a change. We're definitely going to have to adapt to it. Again, out there wide. It's going to puddle up here. It's going to be crazy, so we're going to try to keep it tight, aim for that line. Out onto the Daytona oval. Shouldn't puddle up any on the oval with the banking. Yeah, it should be obviously wet and slippery, but there shouldn't be any puddles. It should all be on the apron if we're going to see puddles out here. So, my windshield wipers didn't come on. That's not going to help. All right, just brake at like 250. No idea. Again, I'm not super worried about braking on. I need to change my mirror FOV apparently, or I'm just going to leave it like this actually because I don't know what I'm doing yet. But there is an issue where the spray looks a little bit distorted if your FOV is not correct back there. But anyways, I'm not too worried about braking on the oval for turn 1 and the bus stop, because the oval should be just about the least pooly part, just because it's banked obviously. So we'll have to brake earlier for sure. Very easy to lock up. We're just going to hydroplane right there like crazy. Oh, as soon as we cross over the rubber line there is when we're going to have a spin. But I felt like our braking point was okay there. We just ended up in a puddle, so still learning where the puddles are. Again, this section as well through turn 2 and 3 there. You can't really avoid the puddle at all. So we'll try to cross over the rubber there, go to the outside of turn number 1, tuck back in. This is so tricky and it's so different. If you have not rain raced at all or raced in real life like I have not, it's all new. It's all new and it's all different, so try to stay off the inside line there. Cut back in. I do realize fully that driving in something like a GT3 or the 86 would be more appropriate to learn this from scratch, but I don't like that. We're going to jump in the deep end and see what's what. I know I'm going to be awful, I know I'm going to be slow and embarrassing, but I do not care. This is what I want to learn, because this is what I'd race. I mean, I'm going to have to learn a little bit of everything, and it's going to take time, but this is what I know, so. Oh, much too much speed into the bus stop there in the rain. It wasn't a whole bunch too much, but it was too much for sure, so. Should be able to bleed off fairly quickly. Obviously, running by myself here, we're not going to get to test the spray, which is unfortunate. As far as being behind the spray, we'll probably do that later. I'm not sure how much rain I'll record during week 13 here. We'll see what we can put together. We'll see what I want to record for later on. But anyways, we'll get going. Stick to the outside of turn 1. Kind of out on the karting line. Try to avoid the paint though. A little bit of pooling there that we're going to have to avoid. And we'll keep it tight here again. Just go straight here across. Get off of the inside line and cut it back in tight if we can. It's so difficult. We're going so fast in this car. It's all new to me. Finding the limit of this is going to be very difficult. And I'm going to be honest, the biggest problem I'm having right now is visibility. All my markers are obviously very different. I got to get tighter there. I got to just bite the bullet and get to the inside, because the outside's where all the rain's going to pool up. So I got to just bite the bullet and dive in deep and learn. But the hardest thing I'm having right now, I mean, I'm running 100 FPS no problem, which I usually do, and I am capped at that, but that's good that you can run, if you choose to cap at a lower rate, it's good that you can cap at that and not have any problems, so it's good learning. Again, try to stay off the curbs. It's going to be very tricky through the bus stop. The whole thing is curb, but we survived that time. For the first time, I spoke too soon. There's a little bit of a puddle. Just spun the rear tires on the exit, so. Yeah, I'm just going to have to figure this out, learn, probably run a lot of 86 laps, just because it's going to be nice and slow to figure this stuff out. Don't plan on racing this in officials, anytime soon for sure. It's cool. This is freaking cool, man. It's been a long time coming since they've had rain. I have not done any rain racing since like Forza 4, basically. Aim for the no puddle right there. Cross to the outside. Again, there's going to be a ton more speed in this, and people are going to figure it out quick. People with real life experience, especially in the rain, are going to have just a massive advantage about this, which is fair enough, as it should be probably, but it's just a whole new ball game. You don't even know what you're shooting for here, so this is cool. This is really cool, and I'm glad that iRacing was able to do this and put this together. Try running through the curb there to straighten this out. Now, again, there through the rubber is a little bit slippery. We probably carried a little bit too much entry speed. That was cool. I want to just watch what happened there. The spray looks cool. Again, not 100% realistic yet. Maybe a little bit too thick for iRacing, what it needs to be in my opinion, but oh, you see, I think it was the paint. I don't even know if I touched it, not sure, but that was cool. Actually, let's go test something else. Let's go test the GR86. Maybe in some lighter ranges so we can get a feel for this. It's in Toyota, isn't it? So Toyota, which is way down here, GR86. Where do we go that has a track that we know well? I don't really want to go to Roval. That's pretty boring. We just did Daytona, obviously. Could go to Nürburgring. That'd be insane, though. Let's go to Road America. That's my home track, right? What could happen? What could go wrong? Let's put some lighter rain on, just so I can maybe see a little bit better and still learn. So light rain, not very light, but just normal light. We'll see how this goes. All right. Well, I'm entertained. I am entertained. All right, let's see how this works. All right, so now we're in light rain. I mean, it's a 100% chance of light rain, and again, I know exactly what light rain should be like here because I've sat in it before. So, do I even have sets for this? No, I just have the fixed set. Let's go with high downforce and see what that's like in this wet tire, obviously. You'd probably never run high downforce here unless it was wet. Obviously, the length of the straightaways is pretty nuts. So, all right, we'll see what we got. Just roll out. This is not a car I know at all. I want to make that clear. I've raced this car a handful of times only. Wipers, yes. Only raced this car a handful of times ever and did not enjoy it. It's not my favorite thing ever. Car is slippery, that's for sure. So I don't know how to drive this car in the dry around here. Let's make that very clear. No idea what our traction control settings are. I don't know what good is either, so it's irrelevant. So in this light rain, which is probably what I'd expect a lot of this in iRacing official sessions. You know, rain enough where it's going to be slippery and going to be different, but not so much pooling up that it's insane. Again, you do not want to be right on the inside of the rubber. Exit to the left. Again, in this amount of rain, you're probably going to be able to do it a little bit. Doesn't seem like in light rain there's very much puddling, so we're probably okay here for the most part. It's still going to be slippery in some points, and obviously you still want to avoid the curbs, but you're probably going to be able to run a relatively normal racing line. It's still definitely wet. There's no mistaking that. You can see the spray behind me, but nothing, super rooster taily, which is good. So yeah, it looks like at least in light rain here when we start. I don't know how that works if it pools up under static. Like if we let this sit for an hour, would it then begin to pool in some of the places, or is it just going to stay this amount of rain, which is enough to keep it dry? Definitely slippery through the carousel. We'll see how the kink is here. Give it a little bit of break. Just be brave, but not that brave. Okay, so again, I have no idea what it's like around here in the dry in this car. Never driven here in the dry in this car. But this is not crazy in this light rain here. And I would expect most of the iRacing sessions there that we have, at least coming up in stuff that's going to be like this, is going to be somewhere between this and what we just had at Daytona, Light to moderate. I don't think we're going to see anything crazy heavy in any official races anytime soon. But, we're going to have more puddling than this, I'd hope, because this is basically just slippery car. It's not, you're running the racing line. And again, I don't know what I'm doing, but I'm running the racing line, so. This is cool, though. I mean, this is good to have as an option. But it's definitely this light rain, if this is all it gets, if there's no track evolution, if you want to call it that, it's not any more difficult than just driving in the dry in a car that you know. I wish that the Solstice would have rain. It'll be one of the last cars to get rain because it's legacy, obviously. It's not current content, but, it is slippery, but just avoid the curbs and don't die, and that's going to be the key. But I wish the Solstice would, because I know the Solstice obviously like the back of my hand, and be able to compare apples to apples, what it feels like, what the differences are. But I'm going to keep learning and be curious if people, maybe I will have to drive a GT car and a GTP in light rain, just to get an apples to apples comparison, because I thought I'd have to learn my way around the track, which is why I chose something slow like this, but it's going to be more, I think, more of, learning puddle location and, braking distances and traction, all those things that come with it. So it's going to be different, but it's not going to be so different. I don't think that it's, insane. Oh, there we go, sliding out really wide there, but too deep. But this is so cool. I cannot state how cool this is enough. Like, you don't know what you're missing and what you don't have until you, experience it and you realize what you've not had. So that was awful English, but this is so cool. This is just unbelievably fun. And I'm so glad that everyone's going to get to learn this. It's going to be a new challenge. It's going to be a new thing. And again, most people, whether it's computer issues or, having to learn how to do this, myself included, I'm going to be staying far away from officials, not just for my sake, but for everybody else's sake. But, for week 13 and for running tests and hosting and stuff, this is freaking cool. So super excited to learn more about this. Hopefully it continues to develop, and there's, small tweaks with the rooster tails would be good. They need to, I think, be a little bit less opaque. I'd like if you can see them a little better. I know that they've already said the rain lights need to be brightened and updated, so I expect a patch for that in the next couple of days. But this is a great start, unbelievable. I'm so glad we had to wait an extra season, extra 13 weeks to get this to this level with the more cars, more tracks. So this is just, it's unbelievable the level of detail that this is from just, having driven in the rain before. And obviously knowing this particular track, what it would look like. This is exactly what it would look like, minus the big snap oversteer from a non-professional race car driver. But yeah, I guess there's nothing more for me to do. Showcase this. We're not gonna beat around the bush. I'll just need more laps to be able to push it all and figure any of this out. But this is cool. This is the coolest thing they've done since dirt, without doubt. So yeah, I guess I'll put down some kind of lap. I have no idea what a benchmark lap is, but 253 will have to do for whatever. And there will be more learning to be done. So I am excited to figure this out, learn and test, and see where the crossover points are. I gotta learn to drive in the rain first. That's step one. Learn to drive in the rain, then I'll get to start messing around with stuff like wet to dry, dry to wet, where that crossover point is, puddles, track changes, evolution, all those type of things. It looks like this is like our general area of Elkhart Lake, and this is the track, so that's pretty cool. It's static, so it doesn't matter, but it'll tell you, this would be maximum crazy, obviously. So that's pretty cool. Track is lightly wet. It tells you that now, which is cool. It'll tell you all the precipitation, all the overcast, everything like that. So that's pretty dang cool. So I don't think anything else changes in here. And the tires, saying wet now. You have your wet option on a couple of cars. So yeah, I'm pleased with it, and it'll be more exploring to do. So that's gonna be it. Make sure you drop a like and a sub down below. Don't want to miss any of the action from iRacing and my upcoming struggles in rain, I'm sure, and all the learning that everybody's gonna be doing, and all the other stuff I post. But there will be plenty of rain content, I'm sure, coming from me as you all laugh at me ending up in a ditch. So that's gonna be it. Till next time. Bye bye.